I heard you say on radio the other day that you would take the AstraZeneca vaccine. You've no issues with it at all, even though quite clearly you're not over 60. What do you make of what's been going for AstraZeneca? Denmark abandoning it entirely.
Yeah, and they're the only country that I'm aware of that's done that so far, and that's going to slow down their vaccination program, and there'll be consequences to that because the facts are clear. I have the NIAC advice in front of me, and when it comes to any vaccine or any medicine, there are side effects, and some of them can be serious. But you have to ask the question: is it safer to take this vaccine than to not take it? And for somebody aged between 60 and 64, they're 85 times more likely to die as a result of COVID than to have an adverse clotting event. And even for somebody, in their 50s, they're 23 to 48 times more likely to suffer an adverse outcome as a consequence of COVID as opposed to the vaccine. So, they're pretty good odds in my book. And one of the things that starts today is the portal is now open. People aged between 65 and 69 can register for their appointment for their vaccine. And over the course of the next week or two, we'll extend that to everyone over 60. So, there is good news today for people who are who are over 60 and haven't had the vaccine yet. They'll be able to make their appointment over the course of the next week.
Do you maintain your stance that you'd take AstraZeneca if you were offered it today?
Yeah, I do. It's slightly more marginal for my age group. In my age group, you're 6 times more likely to suffer an adverse event as a result of COVID than from taking the vaccine. So, 6 to 1, if I was offered it, I would go for it. But at the moment, we're prioritising people who are over 60, and that's the right thing to do because they're, of course, at much higher risk of COVID than people in their 40s like me.
Now, a phone call came through during the cabinet meeting from Ursula von der Leyen's office saying great news about extra quantities of Pfizer, which would be 540,000 doses if you say it's a 2-dose vaccine. However it's spread out, whether it's 4 weeks or longer, it's 270,000 people. It doesn't quite make up the loss if Johnson and Johnson goes. But then later in the day, from Ursula von der Leyen's office, we hear they're not going to be renewing a contract with AstraZeneca next year. They're going to concentrate on the mRNA vaccines like Pfizer and Moderna. I just felt it was just so damaging to AstraZeneca's reputation and brand and Oxford and so on, and that if it slows down programs in places like Denmark, in Ireland, wherever, that inevitably it'll cost lives. Why that breaking news yesterday? Why was it necessary to make those kind of statements?
Yeah, I can't really speak for the European Commission on that. I do think some of the messaging that's come out from the European Commission and some other European capitals, not from Ireland, in relation to AstraZeneca hasn't been particularly helpful. We have 4 vaccines that are licensed now in Ireland. All 4 of them achieve close to 100% protection in terms of prevention of death and severe illness. These are really effective vaccines. I think it's not helpful for any authority, whether it's in Brussels or any other European capital, to be, downplaying the efficacy or safety of any vaccine because, they are safe. And this is a pandemic and it is a race against time to vaccinate as many people as possible. And if we slow that process down deliberately through our own actions, more people will get COVID and more people will die of COVID and more people will get an adverse reaction or an adverse result because of COVID. But, having said that, I do think one thing that probably will happen, and this is changing all the time, but bear in mind, is that when people are getting their booster doses, and we think people will probably need booster doses maybe in the winter, maybe every winter, that they are more likely to be mRNA vaccines than viral vector vaccines. But who knows, Pat? We may yet find out that the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine wear off quicker. We just don't know these things. This is a new virus and these are new vaccines. While it may on the face of it now look as though the mRNA vaccines, which is Pfizer, Moderna, are the best or the most effective, we might find out that they're the ones that wear off quicker. You just don't know. And the best thing we can do at the moment is to take whatever vaccine we're given and do so knowing that the benefits outweigh the risk. 10 times over, if not more, and that it's going to protect us against this very nasty virus.